All right. Greetings to everybody. You all look well. So, shall we begin with the first question? With Philip from Malaysia. Hi, Philip. You are first today. Any question from you?
I have no question today. I'm just
Not yet.
listening.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet.
All right. We'll go to Mudita. Hi, Mudita from Bangkok.
Good evening, Khatan Prajan. How are you today?
You can see me, so you don't need to reply.
Okay.
Because if
Yes.
everybody asks this question, I have to answer.
Right. I'm sorry. Yes. So I have a question regarding about practicing mindfulness. I was discussing with my friends about practicing mindfulness. So I was telling my friend that I use like chanting meditating object like a mantra or watching my body actions. And then I told her that sometimes it's difficult to do because I still have to connect with people around me. And my friend was asking me if chanting a mantra is necessary. She said, can't we just observe our emotions? Like, oh, now I'm feeling angry, now I'm feeling happy, and we just know the emotions. So that's the question. Yes.
Well, you can observe, but you cannot control them. See, that's the problem.
Right.
When you get angry, you cannot stop your anger if you don't have mindfulness.
Right.
So we want to build up mindfulness into the mind. Mindfulness is like a braking system of the mind, like a braking system of the automobile. You can drive and watch the car run, but you have no brakes. What's the point of driving the car, right?
Right.
When it's gonna hit another car and you cannot stop it. So our practice is trying to install this braking system in the mind.
Right.
Mindfulness. So by reciting a mantra, we are actually stopping the mind from thinking about other things.
Right.
So that when we want the mind to stop when it's angry, we can stop it by using mindfulness. But first, when we don't have mindfulness, we have to generate it by reciting a mantra, by focusing on one object, such as a mantra or chanting, or watching your breath, depend on the situation, which one is more appropriate, more suitable. But generally, if you are moving around, doing work, and you want to control your thoughts, reciting a mantra seems to be the most easiest way.
Right.
You can still go on about doing what you want to do, eating, brushing your teeth, taking a shower. But if you cannot force your mind to focus on your action, then you have to use a mantra to stop it from thinking about other things. So once you know how to use a mantra, or once you have strong mindfulness, you don't need the mantra, because you can, as soon as the mind starts to think, you have strong mindfulness, you can stop it right away. But if you cannot stop it, it means you need to generate more mindfulness. So you have to recite a mantra. So this is what we are trying to do right now. First, to install the braking system. Once we have the braking system, once we have a strong mindfulness, then we don't need to recite a mantra. We just can watch the mind. When it gets angry, we can stop it. When it becomes greedy, we can stop it.
Okay. Right.
So, if you cannot stop your mind, stop your greed, hate, and delusion. With mindfulness, it means you don't have enough mindfulness.
Right.
So you need to generate more mindfulness by focusing your mind on one object, such as a mantra, first.
Right.
Until you can get your mind to become completely still. That's when it's entered into the fourth jhana. Then you know you have developed a certain amount of mindfulness.
Right.
But this mindfulness in the beginning can still be diminishing and disappear if you don't continue to
Right.
maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep training your mind in mindfulness until you are capable of stopping your thoughts, stop your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't need to recite the mantra anymore.
Right. Okay.
Is that okay?
Yes, Pajan, that's very good, and I really understand it. Pajan, may I ask a little bit more on top of that? Like, let's say that we are having conversations with people. Maybe we are in meeting, and then we get heated conversations, and because we have to talk, and then maybe we cannot chant the mantra. And when we have heated conversations, sometimes we get driven by that, and we can get angry and annoyed. How can we, at the moment that we are engaged in such situations, how can we calm ourselves down?
Well, it depends whether you realize that you are overheating or not.
Right.
If you're overheating, just stop. Just stop. Just stop replying. Stop saying anything.
Right.
And just listen.
Right.
Just listen and then try to cool yourself down first before you talk.
Okay.
If you still feel angry, you feel heated, you should not do any. You shouldn't do any talking if it's possible.
Right.
If you cannot stop yourself, maybe you should excuse yourself, get yourself away from the situation.
Right.
Go to the bathroom or something, and then cool yourself down before you can come back. But the problem is once you get heated, you get so involved with you forget yourself. You don't.
Right.
Then you just have to let the thing run its course until whatever happens, until it eventually stops.
Right.
And who knows what happened? You might lose a friend. You might go to jail.
Oh, no. I hope not.
This is just the result of not having enough mindfulness to stop your bad action. So this is the purpose of training yourself in mindfulness.
Yes, yeah.
To be able to know all the time what's going on in yourself, and to know when to stop and when not to stop, and so forth.
Right. Okay. That's very good,ท่านพระอาจารย์
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much for today.
All right. I think we might have to go quickly in the first round, so that we can then maybe come back to second round. Next is Alvin Lee from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tan Ajahn. Tan Ajahn, following from the question I asked Tan Ajahn last week regarding place to meditate comfortable, and Tan Ajahn said that we should try places which we are not comfortable with, more can say that more hostile to us. If we choose a place that we are not comfortable with, would that help in our progression faster than a place like, for example, we practice at home, a place that we are comfortable with?
Well, see, first of all, when you first practice, you might need a comfortable place to practice because you might not have strong enough mindfulness to deal with the harsher conditions. So when you first started, you might need a comfortable environment like your home, sitting in an air-conditioned room and so forth. But you will only gain so much mindfulness to a certain level. And then you might want to test yourself under different conditions to see if you can still practice as efficiently as you in your comfort zone. Because life is not always comfortable. See, life can be changing from good to bad, from comfort to discomfort. And our goal is to be able to deal with every situation. So when we first start, we start with the comfort zone. And then when we feel comfortable, when we feel confidence, then we can deal with our mind effectively. We can control our mind. Then we want to test the mind under different conditions, because sooner or later things will change. Different conditions will arise. So you have to then improvise, find a harsher condition, a more discomfort condition, like live under a harsher environment with not all the comfort that you normally have, to see if you can still keep your mind basically stable and not emotionally disturbed by the conditions around you. And if you're under that situation, then if your mind starts to become emotionally disturbed, then you're forced to develop more mindfulness or wisdom to deal with the situation. So yes, to answer your question, if you want to advance, you have to change the environment of your practice. You have to pretend that you are sick once. What happens when you're sick? Your body gets fever, get pain. So how you do that? You do that by sitting for a long time. Or you can simulate a situation like you are locked up in jail, for instance. What you're gonna do? Maybe for some reason you broke the law and the police come and take you and lock you up in the cell. And you cannot do anything but just sit in the cell. So maybe you can simulate the situation by forcing yourself to be in the room, not doing anything, having nothing to do, like sitting on a chair and not let the mind go here and there in the room. Because what to go once you're in the room, So the best place is to sit and try to make your mind calm and still. If you can calm your mind and your mind becomes still, then you can be happy by just not doing anything. Have you tried that on your weekend, on your day off? Say, put yourself in a comfortable chair and say, I'm going to sit here for 6 hours and not doing anything. If I get tired, I can move, I can stand, but I'm not going to leave this chair. I'm either sitting or standing. The only time I leave is when I have to go to the bathroom. I have to come back very quickly once I finish my business in the bathroom. I'm not going to loiter and do something else, just to force your mind to stay put. Because your mind is constantly running around here and there. When you're here, you want to go someplace else. Even no particular good reason, but being here is so terrible, you feel so terrible, so you want to go someplace else. But you don't want to run away from situation. You want to teach the mind to cope with the situation. So this is what you have to do in order to build a stronger mind, because life is not always rosy, not always comfortable. There can be situations that can be discomforting, and you need to cope with a calm mind. If you haven't practiced, you might not know how to deal with the situation, because your mind will be agitated and restless and craving to get away from that situation. But that situation, sometimes you cannot get away from the situation. You just have to stay with it until things eventually change again. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thanks,
yes,
Ajahn.
if you can switch, find a different type of environment to practice, That will be good. That will give you a glimpse of what your mind is like. Is it always under control or not? You can control it when things go well. Can you control it when things don't go well with you? Maybe with people, or with money situation, with financial situation, with working situation. Any kind of situation can upset your mind, see? And you want to be able to bring it back to normality with mindfulness and wisdom.
Thanks, Tan Ajahn. Thanks.
Mindfulness is to just recite a mantra or stop your mind from thinking, if you can, calm it down. Or you can use wisdom and tell you life is anicca, things change. It's anatta, you cannot control them. So you just have to accept and learn to live with these changing conditions. If you can do this, then your mind can become calm and not disturbed by what's going on around you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks, Tan Ajahn. Yeah, thank you. Very helpful. Thank you.
Next, Gabe Ian So from Penang. Gabe, do you have any question today?
No questions. I'm listening today.
You got beautiful scenery behind you. Is that simulation? Is simulation or is it real?
It's not a real one, but it's a picture taken from my condo.
Okay.
Yeah.
We like nice pictures. Make us feel good, right? We don't like bad pictures. Make us feel bad. Why don't you have a picture of a super behind your screen? A corpse lying down, a skeleton or something. We don't like those pictures. But they can be useful tools to get rid of your desire. Okay. All right. Let me go to Kenneth from Switzerland. Ken, Professor.
Hello, Ajahn. Ajahn, I have a question regarding the contemplation of the 32 parts, which I was using as a way of trying to overcome the analytical thinking mind. And my question is the contemplation of the 32 parts, is that also considered to be a kind of a supa contemplation?
It is. It is also anatta contemplation also. When you look at the various parts of the body and you ask yourself, where am I? Am I in the skeleton? Am I in the hair? Am I in the teeth? And you say the answer will come no, right? So where are you? You're not in the body, right? So the body is not you. This is analytical thinking. You have to think like this. So you at least get the picture from analyzing it. But your mind still will not accept it, even though theoretically or analytically the body is not you. But you need this information to move you to take the test by exposing your body to danger. And when something might make you feel afraid that you might lose your body, then you can teach your mind that you're not losing yourself. The body is not you. You're not being attacked by an animal. You're the mind, the one who knows, the one who possesses this body. And if you want to stop your dukkha, you have to leave the body alone. Let go of the body. If it's going to happen to it, let it happen. Once you can do that, you can see the detachment happen. And you feel that your mind, from being stressful to become peaceful. Once you have let go of your attachment. Once you're willing to let the body be, whatever's going to happen to it. You're not going to protect it. You're not going to, you just let it be because it's not you. Why become stressful with something that doesn't belong to you in the first place? So this is what you first do. You analyze the 32 parts and ask yourself, am I the hair of the head? Am I the hair of the body? What happened when I shave my head? How my hair is gone? Do I disappear with the hair? If I'm still here when the hair disappeared, then it means I'm not the hair, right?
Yeah.
So same thing with the rest of the 32 parts. So unless you analytically know that the body is not you when you do this, then you want to use this information to confirm by letting go of your body when it's exposed to danger. So that's why meditators sometimes have to go into a place where can cause them considerable fear.
Yeah.
Fear of animal, fear of whatever. And the whole thing is fear of losing one's life, fear of losing the body. But you know that this fear is causing you stress, and it's not worth having it. Besides your body, you know eventually you're going to have to give it up anyway, right? Sooner or later. So why not give it up now and then get rid of the fear and the stress that associated with being attached to your body. So you need a situation to force your mind to see the difference between attaching and letting go. If you attach, you'll be stressful. Your mind will be stressful. If you let go, your mind will be peaceful. Because you see the body is anicca, impermanent, anatta, no self in the body.
Yeah.
Okay? And it's also a super, because when you look at a beautiful person, you look at with an X-ray eyes. This is like X-ray. You can imagine all the parts under the skin. The skin covers all the rest of the other parts of the body. But with contemplation,
the signal is lost. It's losing. Just wait a minute.
okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay.
This is anicca. Technology is also anicca. All right. Did you understand more or less what I said, Kenneth?
Yes, I understood, Ajahn. Thank you.
Okay. And then let me go to the next couple or family, Lillian and Lay, and husband and daughter. Any question today?
My husband has a question.
Yes, Prajan, I have a question for you today.
Go ahead.
Yes, let's say there's a situations where we would like to spend time with our parents because they are old. By spending time with them, we feel that, okay, they should need someone to take care of. However, they said, why don't you go spend your time doing your business or go and do something else? So in this case, my question is, how should we feel? Because if by not listening to them and go and take care of our business, we somehow like feel inferior. That's mean like we are not listening to our parents. But by staying with them, will they feel uncomfortable?
That depends on how you communicate with them. You ask them, say what they want.
Yeah.
If sometimes we are more or less don't want to impose ourselves on other people. So your parents don't want to, make you feel that you have to live with them, to look after them, because you also have your own life to live. You have your own things to do. So I think you have to come to some kind of understanding between both of you.
Okay.
But you can look at it by the fact. You can look at it by the fact. If they can live alone and maintain their life, then okay, no need to live with them.
Oh, that's okay.
But you can always drop by and have a meeting with them or take them out to go places. But you don't need to live with them all the time to show your respect and your gratitude. Just like me, I never go to see my mother, but once a week I talk to her on the phone.
All right. Okay.
And I make sure that everything she is taken care of.
Okay.
Physically, food and medicine and things like that. So anytime she needs something, then you have to step in and give it to her if you can.
All right.
But you don't need to be physically with her all the time.
Okay. Yep.
With them all the time, unless they want to. But I don't think they want to either. They probably don't want to be alone. They want to be left. They don't want to feel that they are causing other people's trouble. Everybody doesn't like to make other be troubled by them unless they are incapacitated, that they cannot really help themselves. Then they will have to accept that someone will have to stay with them and help them.
All right. Okay. Understand.
Okay. So don't feel bad if you don't live with them.
Yeah, okay.
But you can always call them every day and say, hello, how are you?
All right.
And drop by and bring them stuff from time to time.
Okay. Thank you,ท่านอาจารย์ Thank you ครับ
Okay. Is that all? Okay, Lilian, you have no question yet.
No question today, just listening.
Okay.
Any question?
What's your daughter's name?
Lele.
Lele? Okay. Lilian.
Yes.
Okay. Let me say hello to Forest Tom from Massachusetts, from Boston.
Hi, Ajahn. So a question I have today is that I noticed that sometimes I feel like there's an obstruction to making progress because I find my old habits to be more comfortable. Even if it brings me suffering, then the mind still wants it because it's comfortable rather than going forward is unknown. So I'm just wondering how to think about this.
Your mind being uncomfortable with what?
With the unknown. It feels like if I let go of my old habits, then I don't really know what's going to happen.
Well, that's the truth thing. You don't know what's going to happen. That's why we want to contemplate on anicca. Anicca means you don't know what's going to happen next. So you have to prepare yourself for all situations. Expect the worst. Nothing can be worse than getting sick and die.
Yeah.
So you have to train yourself to accept sickness and death. Once you have done that, then all the other unknown doesn't matter. Because nothing can be worse than getting sick and die, right? So this is what we want to train our mind to accept aging, sickness, and death. Then it will cover all the unknown.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. So you want to meditate to calm your mind and then expose your mind to your body to sickness and death and see how you cope with the situation. If you can cope it peacefully, calmly, and not disturbed, then you pass the test. Then you will not worry about anything from that point onward. about the future. Because nothing can be worse than getting sick and death. Once you have faced these two things and have learned how to cope with them, then you can cope with every situation. All right.
All right. Thank you, Tan Ajahn.
Next, Kok Seng from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn.
Any question? Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Okay. I have this question today. Usually after my meditation, I would dedicate my merits, and I would say as follows: may I dedicate the merits which I may have accumulated from practicing mindfulness of the breath? May I dedicate the merits to my parents? So I'll mention my parents' name, to my spouse, my children, and also to dedicate the same merits to my past relatives and friends who have deceased, and also to all my debtors, past and present. May all beings be well, may always be happy, may always be without enmity, without ill will, may all beings achieve happiness. So my question is this way of practicing, is this the correct way of practicing dedication of merits after meditation?
It's a good thought to think about other people and wish them well. But what you do, you cannot share with other people. What you did, you cannot share with other people. You're developing mindfulness, developing samadhi. This is something we cannot share with other people. So yeah, it's a good thought, but it's empty of any substance. You cannot give them samadhi, you cannot give them mindfulness. They have to develop their own mindfulness, they have to develop their own samadhi in order for them to be happy. So you can wish, it's just a wish, but like we do wish everybody well, but whether they're well or not, that doesn't happen from our wishes. It happened from their karma. So they have to build good karma and get rid of bad karma. Because good karma gives them happiness and bad karma gives them suffering. Okay.
To continue
what you can do for them is give them money if you want to make them happy. Transfer the money into the bank account to your parents, and they will send back, thank you very much, But when you just wish in your mind that may I share this merit with them, they don't know that you're sharing merit with them. And even if they know, they don't know what kind of merit you're sharing with them. Because it's not shareable. It's something they have to do themselves, like you have to do yourself. So they have to do themselves also. Like eating, when you finish eating and you say, I like to share this fullness of stomach to my parents. Would that make them full from your eating? You have to send them food to let them eat the food. Then they can then share the happiness from having a full stomach. Okay. Except there's only one exception, and which is still a mystery to me, is to dedicate your merit through charity to the dead one. This somehow works for the dead people. Once you do some charity, you then have this good feeling that arises from giving. Then you can share this good feeling toward the departed. But they have to be waiting for you also. They have to come and ask for your help. But if they don't, if you just send it, they might not know that you send it because they're not coming after it, so they're not waiting for it. So actually, to share the merits to the dead one, usually normally they would have to first come and ask you for this merit. Then you go and give something to charity, and then you will feel good. Then you can share this good feeling toward that spirit waiting for your merit. Otherwise, you know, you share, you don't know whether they're receiving it or not, because sometimes they don't need it. Because what you share is very small compared to what they have. If they have their own merits, they would have more merit than what they get from you sharing it to them. Okay. All right.
Yeah, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Claudia Swiner or Swiner from Germany, Nuremberg.
Thank you. Good afternoon from Germany. It's good to see you. Thank you for teaching. I have no questions today.
Okay. How's your translation? Still going well? Still
Yes,
doing
very
it?
well. Very well. I do enjoy translating your book so much. And what I can say is that my meditation is getting better and better the more I translate. So
If you want me to post it on my my website, you can send it the file.
okay.
Send to assistant Ajahn Suchart.
Assistant Ajahn Suchart.
Yes, I think you go to the website prasuchart.com and there's a contact page. Then there's the email in which you can then send the file. But you have to indicate which translation you're doing, which book you're doing.
Yeah.
Then I can have it posted as in German. Say Dhamma English in German. What are you translating right now?
Dhamma Farsi asking, it's from the year 2014.
2014. Dhamma
Yes.
in English.
In English, yeah. Dhamma in English from 2014.
14. Okay.
Yeah.
You can wait until you finish before you send it.
Yeah.
The whole book, after you finish the whole book, and if you want to share it, we can post it on my website, and then you can get the link and share with your German friends.
Okay. Oh, it honors me. Thank you. Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Next is Anuraji from New Zealand. You must be late, huh? What? 2 o'clock now? 2 o'clock in the
Yeah, I
morning.
think,
2:40.
it's
Almost
1:41. Thank you, Ajahn. Yeah, how are you?
Awake? Are you awake?
Yeah. I had a couple of, just 2 hours sleep, so that's good enough, yeah. Yeah. So this gives me a lot of energy for the week, yeah. Can you hear me, Ajahn?
Yes,
Yeah.
can hear you.
Sorry.
Okay, you can speak louder though. You can.
Yeah. There's a question, Ajahn, regarding term. So in 5 aggregates or Nama Rupa, we use Sankara. So Sankara is more mental formation. In the Paticca Samuppada, in the dependent origination, it says Avijja is a condition for Sankara. So is it these two terms are the same? Or?
Yes, the same thing. But you have to understand that avijja condition, this word condition means avijja is the one that drive our thinking, our sankhara. See, our delusion is the one that keep pushing our thought toward things that is bad for us, because we don't know that they are bad due to our delusion. So it will, avijja will then ask sankhara to go to vijnana. Vijnana is to connect the mind to the body, the 5 sensual organs, so that then the 5 sensual organs then will be able to contact the 5 sensual objects. So that feeling will arise from that.
Yeah.
And when there's feeling, then there is craving. Right? When you have good feeling, you want to crave for more. If you have bad feeling, you want to get rid of it. So this is the process of how our mind works in conjunction with our body.
Yeah.
So we're constantly seeking for the 5 sensual objects.
Yeah.
And then we cannot, like when we are under lockdown, we feel miserable. We have bad feelings, not good feelings. So in order to solve this problem, we have to teach the mind wisdom. Vicha. Avijja means the lack of wisdom.
Yeah.
And vicha means wisdom. Vijja means knowledge in Pali.
Yeah.
Avijja means no knowledge. So it's delusion. Avijja is delusion, the lack of knowledge or ignorant. So we have to teach the mind wisdom or knowledge, panya, that the way to find happiness is not through the 5 sensual objects, because they are impermanent. They can give you good feelings and they can also give you bad feelings. And if you don't want to experience any bad feeling, you should stop going toward the 5 objects and look for different types of happiness. That's the happiness from stopping your mind from craving, from desiring, through meditation, through mindfulness meditation.
Yeah.
Once you can stop your cravings, your mind becomes still and happiness arises.
Yeah.
So you want to change your way of looking for happiness. Instead of looking through the body toward the 5 sensual objects, you now want to stop your craving, stop your sankhara by using mindfulness, by meditating. When you can stop your sankhara, stop your cravings, then your mind becomes still and happy.
Okay.
All right. This is the process of stopping the rounds of rebirth.
Yeah.
Because if you keep sending the mind toward the 5 sensual objects, it will eventually lead you to a new birth. Because when your body dies, then you will have to get a new body to continue on with your pursuit of happiness. You need to have a body.
Yeah.
So you have to keep coming back, one body after the next.
Yeah.
So the body that we have right now might be the 100 millionth body.
Yes.
And it will keep adding more and more as long as we keep doing the same thing. But when we reverse the process, stop going after the sensual objects, stop the desire for the sensual objects, then your mind can become still, peaceful, and happy. And it doesn't need to have a body to make it happy.
Yeah.
Like when you meditate, you feel happy, right? Without using the body.
Yes, sir.
So you want to do that instead of going out to places to make you happy.
Yeah.
You can stay in a monastery, stay at home, and then close your eyes and pull your mind inside. Stop your cravings for things.
Yeah.
When your mind stop craving, then your mind become peaceful and happy. But using mindfulness is a temporary method. As soon as your mindfulness weakens, then your craving can come up again.
Yeah.
So you want to move to the next level once you have strong enough mindfulness. Then you want to teach the mind that the reason why we should not go after the 5 sensual objects is because they are impermanent and they can cause us dukkha when they change or when they disappear. And they are something that we cannot always control. So when we see the 3 characteristics in the 5 sensual objects, then we will then stop craving for them permanently.
Yeah.
When there are no craving, then the mind can become peaceful and happy without having to meditate.
Yes.
But first you have to meditate to stop your mind from craving, because that's the only way to stop it. But once you know how to stop it, then the next level is to teach it not to go after the 5 sensual objects.
Yeah. Understood. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Tangajan. Thank you.
Right.
Sadhu.
Evie from Indonesia. Are you ready for your question? Have you translated through Google? You have to unmute your microphone first.
Ajahn, can you hear me?
Evie, you have to unmute your microphone in front of your screen. Okay. You can speak now. Still cannot hear you. Maybe the problem with you when you enter the room, you're supposed to click on using the computer microphone, or else there will be no sound. So you might have to leave the room and come back. Can you speak now? Cannot hear you. Something wrong with maybe pull the plug off your and use the computer microphone. Maybe something wrong with the plug with your earphone. Can you unplug your earphone and speak directly to the mic, to the computer? Or check the speaker, the microphone on your Zoom on the left, bottom left, where there's a speaker and you can check the choices of microphone. Have you chosen the right microphone? They say select a microphone. I think maybe you have to go back, you have to leave the room and come back again. And when you come back, click on using the computer microphone. Okay? When you come back, we'll talk to you again. Well, now let's go to Sri and check for now. Hi, from Vancouver.
Hello, Ajahn. I have a question, Ajahn.
Okay, go ahead.
Not a Dhamma question, but I just need your advice, please. We run a school, Ajahn, and we share the school with another school. They're tenant. Lately, there's a lot of ants because we are on a farmland, so lots of ants in the school. My own staff, my own teacher, they know Sui and I don't kill. So they are using. We are all using natural method. We are using cinnamon powder and cinnamon oil. It works for us. Our tenant, the other school, is very stubborn. They don't want to use the natural method. They keep wanting to kill the ants and and always keep bugging us to use the exterminator. I really don't want that. It's a really, so we are also very insistent. We say no, not at all. I won't consider at all. But they are also stubborn. So my question is, if Ajahn, they decided to do it anyway. And they come back and if they keep asking us to pay for it, and if I want to reduce trouble and I pay for it, do I have is it bad on our part? I do feel bad, but I just want to know if really
well,
bad.
you're contributing to the process of killing these ants by paying for it. Besides, if you don't even pay, you might be paying it indirectly because you will profit from the school, the income from the school, and they use some of this income to kill the ants with. So you just have to accept the fact that sometimes in LA life, you're in a situation where it's beyond your control. Sometimes you might have to compromise and accept the present circumstances that you're under. Unless you feel that you don't want to be under this, then you might have to stop your association, sell your stock, and then get out and go do something else.
Yeah, we already stopped, Ajahn. This we say no, and this will be our last year with them. Just this year, maybe the pandemic somehow affect the. It's yeah, there's a lot of ants. But Sui and I, we go like at night to to put the natural things when there's no people, just to prevent more coming in. And yeah, hopefully you'll we even talk to the ants like, please don't come, they're trying to kill you.
But this is how they survive. See, this is how they survive also. So it's everybody's survival thing. So they survive and they get killed through the process.
Yeah.
Besides, anyway, we're all gonna die one day anyway. So
I told him we won't be part of it. Like we won't be paying for it.
So the only thing we can do is try to minimize our bad karma in as much as possible.
Right. Yeah, it's a little bit upsetting for me. But you're right. I just like you say, it's part of being in the lay life. Sometimes we have to face situation that we don't want, right? I think like we can't really.
And we also live with people with different understanding of karma. Some don't see it as anything important for them. For them, what's important is their own survival. So if they have to kill just to survive, they would do it.
But the ants doesn't do anything, Ajahn. Like they don't kill us. Like they don't. I mean, they're just there. They don't like. But I think people are just annoyed, but they don't harm us.
So you don't have to spray on the ants. You just look for the point where the ants enter the premise.
Right.
And then at the point where they enter, you use a broom or something to sweep them away, and then spray whatever you want to spray. So when they come back and when they get the smell, then they won't come. See?
Yes. That's what we're trying. Like at night when nobody's there, we go and do that. Like we sweep them and then we try the cinnamon.
But maybe they're not repelled by the cinnamon. See? Maybe the smell is good for them.
No, I read online that they hate cinnamon. I don't know. So far, it's been working for our side of our teacher. They follow us because they know we don't kill, so they are doing that. Just the other side of the building that they don't want to do that. So we actually try. We go to their place yesterday and do it for them. Hopefully, I don't know if it's going to work, but I'll try your method.
It's anatta, something sometimes is not under your control. You can only do so much. If you don't want to have any stress, then you just have to accept that it's anatta.
I think our stress is coming from
a desire to control things, to make things the way we want it to be.
Right. Also, Ajahn, I think the way to like, I don't want people to be like that. I think I don't want people to keep bugging me to kill. That annoys me. I think that's the the anatta, like my craving to not want.
Yeah, you
people
have to
be that.
accept them. Say
Yeah.
they want to bug you, let them bug you. You don't have to do what they bug you. Just let them say what they want.
So we don't have to react, right, Tan Ajahn?
Huh?
We don't have to react, right? Whatever they
Well,
say.
just obey ka. This is what we're training ourselves to use is obey ka. Not to be bothered, not to be disturbed by other people's action.
Yeah. Just let them bug you. Okay, that's something that that's helpful to me, I think.
Just your dukkha arises from the fact you're craving for them not to bug you.
Yes, yeah, exactly, Ajahn. Exactly. Yeah.
So,
That's my dukkha.
this is using wisdom to find out the cause of your dukkha. And the cause of the dukkha is not them bugging you, it's your desire for them not to bug you.
Yes.
Once you let them bug you, then you will have no dukkha. Okay, you want to bug me, go ahead.
I have the wrong expectation, Ajahn. I think wrong expectation are not want people to bug me, Ajahn. So I think you're right. I just change my view and change my expectation.
Don't change them, change yourself.
Change myself, yes.
Change your expectation.
Yeah.
You cannot change other people, but you can change your expectation.
Right.
Because your expectation is craving, see, the cause of dukkha.
Yes.
Okay, any more?
Yeah, I feel so much better. Always your advice make me feel so much better. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
Okay. We'll go quickly now for the first round, and then if any more questions, we can do the second round. Alfredo from Brazil. Hi, Alfredo, you look healthy now.
Yes, my asthma is not very good, but I okay.
Okay. Do you have anything to say or ask?
My practice is very good. I not have thinking a lot. I not have looking for problems. I not have. My life is more alone. The groups of WhatsApp, I get off.
Get off.
Yes,
Don't join anymore. No congregation, no mingling. No.
Yes, my motorcycle group have many peoples, and I get off. Any people's not like fight of me, but I saw that I have to practice to life more calm, and I like this life more calm. WhatsApp is very very message. It's complete our practice. Now I'm calm. I'm very okay. Thanks.
Good. Did your illness help you in your meditation practice?
Yes. I don't have a very happy. I am normal. I'm not egoizing a lot. I think I have many years of Dhamma, 20 years of Dhamma. I have normal with Dhamma. I'm not egoizing a lot, no. I don't know it's very good or bad. I'm normal. I'm not egoizing. I'm not very happy or sad. I'm only normal.
Ubeka.
Yes.
All right. Is that all for now?
Yes, thanks.
Okay.
Good days.
Okay.
Good days for all. In Brazil, the life is with pandemic COVID, the stores is open, because lockdown is not possible. Lockdown for our life, but not lockdown. Not the person, not the work. It's not possible.
Yeah.
The government have opened the life.
But you can protect yourself by different measures like wearing mask and keeping a distance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me go to Kyuyan Dong from London. You have any question today, Kyuyan?
Hello, Tanachan. I don't have any questions today. Thank you.
All right. Then go to Belinda from Singapore. Belinda.
Hello, Tanachan.
You look smiley. You look good today.
I just
You feel good, huh?
Anicca.
Anicca. Feeling changes from good to bad to neutral, back and forth. You should not be disturbed by them. Just let them come and go.
Also to people who help me, I thank them. And also people who give me issues, trouble. I thank them.
Thank them also.
So
because then it gives you, it forces you to adjust to the discomfort.
But I request to make changes. So I remove myself from the toxic environment. But I'm going to somewhere nearer to my house. It will be a new place. I'm not sure what will happen. So I try to keep the mind in the present moment and do my best not to react. So
besides the toxic environment outside, you also have toxic environment inside your mind.
That's right. Yes.
That's more important.
And
your like and dislike are the toxic environment. You want to stop dislike and dislike if it's possible by meditating. Get your mind to become calm, then you can stop this toxic environment in your mind. Even though your outside environment is well, your mind can still cause trouble to you, right? Can still make you feel bad, feel sad, feel lonely, or so forth. That's because of the toxic environment inside your mind, your like and dislike. So you want to get rid of this by meditation.
It says the core in the mind, there's a lot of habitual self-sabotage, the self-judgment, and then it's like a habit.
Yes, it all comes from your like and dislike. Once you stop, then you don't have to do anything. So try to stop your mind from thinking. Calm your mind, make it become still, and ubekkha will arise. And then your mind will have no like or dislike, or fear, or delusional thoughts. Right now, most of the time, you have delusional thoughts. Keep driving you in circles. So try to stop thinking. That's the best solution to solve the mental problem. Is to stop thinking. Is to enter into jhana. By training yourself in mindfulness all the time. Recite the mantra, keep watching your action. Keep watching what you do. Focus on what you do. Don't go to other things. Don't think about other things. And then you have to sit down and meditate. Once you have enough mindfulness, then you sit down and meditate. Then your mind can become completely still. And then your mind will feel at ease. No like or dislike, no fear, no delusional thoughts. Okay? No question today.
No for now. Thank you,
Okay.
Tanji.
All right. Xin Yi and Monica Chen from Malaysia also.
Good evening, Ajahn. Good to join your session today.
Yeah. You missed our session a few sessions. Huh?
Many sessions.
Many
because,
sessions.
Yeah, because we're doing some minor renovations at home.
I see.
Yeah, so it was very hectic time.
Anija, so it's Anija.
Yes, and I observe a lot of, sometimes the stray thoughts really create a lot of toxic environment inside.
Mm-hmm.
But then we managed to go through. So it's very good to, sometimes reflect on the Tan Ajahns advice to pull back to the body. And suddenly the mind just settled down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, always try to keep it calm and let things come and go by themselves. Things will come and then things will go, whether you deal with them or not, sooner or later.
True. And I think the culprit is always the thoughts, the stray thoughts.
Yeah,
when they can come in very, it can go in a whirlpool and it's so toxic. Sometimes the whole body you can feel like, it's just running around very well.
Okay, so mindfulness is very important.
It's true.
To be fully aware of what's going on inside your mind, what you think, and what you react. You want to control these two things if possible. Control your thoughts and control your reaction. Any question today?
Yeah, today I have a question on these 6 elements. So how, when do we contemplate on the 6 elements and how do we contemplate on them?
When you're not meditating, you can concentrate. You can contemplate. Should I say you should analyze everything that you see, feel, or touch are all made of these 6 elements, or part of, or some of it, not all of it. Like when you see a body, a human body, like me and you're seeing the 5 elements. You only see the 4. The 4 elements is the earth, water, fire, and wind element that builds up the body. The 5th element, which is the knowing element of the mind, you don't see, but you know that it's there because it's the one that drives the body, keeps the body in action. So this is all you have to know, that so that you don't become lost in the conventional truth that this is my body, that's your daughter body, and so forth. You are seeing the 4 elements, the 5 elements, and they are temporarily. One day the 4 elements of the body will then separate, and the body will, just like ice cream when it melts. Yeah?
Yeah.
You can do this all the time if you can, so that you will lessen your attachment. Because everything that you attach are just elements. The money, the house, everything are made from, they are elements. Some form of element, either water element or earth element, or some combination of the 4 elements.
I think it makes sense. Yeah, we're seeing them every day. Just have to remind ourselves.
Yeah. They are impermanent. They keep changing. Like your house, after you build it for so many years, it starts to break down, right? So you need to do renovation or repair. This is anicca. So you want to contemplate that the 4 elements is constantly in a flux, constantly changing, constantly breaking down.
And constant maintenance.
Yeah. And you can only do so much. Sometimes you cannot do, then you just have to let it be. If you don't have money to renovate, then you just have to live with it, right? If you have money, okay, you renovate. But when you don't have money, what do? You don't renovate. You don't repair, you just live with whatever you have. If you don't want to have any dukkha, then you just have to accept the reality of things. Okay.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Okay.
Yes, Ajahn, like for Asubha contemplation, so we can actually, so normally like I do Buddha and Anapana, so we can actually like sometimes we will do Asubha and it's okay to interchange at times, right?
It depends on what you want to do. So if you want to meditate for calm, using the breath will be the ideal mode of practice. But if you cannot use the breath and your mind wants to analyze, then you can analyze the 32 parts of the body. But it will not make the mind calm like the breath, but it will stop it from being restless or agitated. And then after that, then you can then come back and use the breath again. But if you want to contemplate to get wisdom, then you don't worry about making the mind calm, making it still into jhana. You just want to have the right view of the body, and the body is not pleasant, good looking as you see from the outside. Because once you look inside under the skin, then you can see that there's nothing good looking at all inside the body. So this way will give you a more balanced view of our body. Right now, our view of the body is lopsided or one-sided. We only see the good looking side. We don't see the bad looking side. So we become obsessed with the body, of the good looking side of the body, and when it becomes anicca, then we become sad or become stressful because we don't want the body to become not good looking. You want to keep it to be good looking all the time, but you cannot go against the truth. Eventually, the body, even the outside, will not look good anymore. Once the body gets older and older and older. So you contemplate this to teach your mind to accept the reality of the body, so that when it becomes old, you will not become sad with it. You just accept it. This is the body.
And like for Ajahn, so normally during practice, I feel that after I come out from Anapana, so the mind is relatively still. Then after that, when I contemplate the Asubha, it seems to be able to sort of take in better, like you don't feel the aversion so much. So is that a good way to continue to practice?
That's right. You need to calm the mind first to get rid of the aversion, the like and dislike. So then you can then look at the things that you don't like more for a more extended period of time, because you want to have these things sink in your mind, embedded in your mind, so that when you need it, you can bring it out right away. When you think of beautiful body, then you can think of the unpleasant parts of the body also at the same time, in order to keep a balanced view of the body.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Gary from Singapore. Gary, you're next.
Good evening, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes.
No questions from me tonight. Just listening. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Bethany. I remember her name, her own name. Anangalika Michelle. Unmute your microphone. Okay.
My respect, Ajahn.
Are you in the Ajahn Cloud monastery now?
Yeah, I am trying and testing the Zoom in the kuti. So it works. It works in the second kuti that is going to be repaired, because in the first one I'm actually no.
So how do you find staying there so
Oh,
far?
it's very nice. Very nice, secluded, quiet. It really has a sense, and
Better than Wat Pamanta in
Oh.
terms of meditation.
Nothing to compare.
It's sad because during Nungtat's time, it was very quiet.
Yeah, it is very sad. When I look at the video, when I was in France, I was looking at the videos, the 1, 2, and 3, about Wat Pabantad, and I was crying. It was so beautiful. And what I see now, it's so different.
Yeah.
And that happened very often in big monastery when the abbot who made the monastery is not longer there. And it's really, so now it has a sense, it's really fit with my conviction of what is a Wat Pa. And I'm very, very thankful to Lampoklad to accept me, even if there is no English language here, and I have to deal with that once again.
You don't need much instruction. You know a lot already.
No.
You
Yes,
just need
I
a
know
place to
already.
develop it.
And I can contact you, and I can contact Ajahn Anan, Lompo Anan also in Zoom.
Yes.
So I just need to practice and have good condition,
Yes.
and use that good condition to do my best in the whatever condition I am, physical condition I am in, and that is really a very good place, very, very good.
Yeah, you should try to take advantage of your good location.
Yeah, yeah, and he is repairing that kuti where I'm doing the zone now, because it's really completely secluded in the rocks, and there is nothing around, because he said the other one, Maishi are passing by in the path near the kuti, and might be disturbing. Well, not too much, but here I'm really, really completely secluded. And so there is no the disturbance of mental waves, because that is terrible. It's very heavy. It's something very cloudy, and it's very difficult to get out of that, Noise is not such a problem, but mental waves, it's terrible.
Yeah, Buddha always recommend use of seclusion to meditate.
Yeah, well,
seclusion.
It is always said, sometimes people say, oh, but you can practice everywhere. Yes, we can practice everywhere, but it's also a lie, because Buddha wouldn't have said, go in the forest and be alone,
That's
if
right.
we could do it, we can, what my position is, where whatever condition we have is the best one to practice, because it's what we have. But we have to look for the best. But if it's what we have to practice with that condition, and it pushes the will, and then other things might happen and open for us, and then good condition may arrive in our life,
Yeah. Okay.
That is my position, is what I always practice, and it's working.
Good. I hope you advance in your practice now that you have found the good condition, good location for your practice.
I really have to fight with weakness, chronic
your
weakness,
laziness,
and
especially your laziness.
No, it's really weakness.
Weakness,
because
okay.
I even in my body, even I walk, I have difficulties to walk straight, because my body is weak. I really have, since that problem I had with the ghost, And now with the age, it's not getting better. And I will have to fight and struggle with that and find way to overcome it, you know. And it's really not easy.
Well, when you meditate, you don't need a strong body. You just sit down.
You need some strength to concentrate, because if you don't have the strength, I have hard to concentrate. Because I can see the difference with before, you know.
Yes, but you use mental strength to concentrate, not the physical strength.
Yeah, but mental strength, when it's not only the physical, it's also vital force. You know, I don't know. I can see that if when I had more strength, I could concentrate much better. And with that, when I don't have that strength, you know, I have difficulties to focus. I have difficulties to focus.
Yeah, because your mind is still linked to your body. Your mind is still linked to your body. It lets the feeling of the body dictate itself. But if you can decouple your mind from the body, then you can use the mental strength without having to have the physical strength. The way to get mental strength is just to keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. You don't need to have physical strength to do that. Right?
Yeah. Well, it's sometimes easier than other thing. And also not to have the body will go, you know, fall down in all the size.
Okay, any question?
No, thank you. Thank you, Tanajan.
Okay, then let me go to Evie from Indonesia. You come back. Okay. Can you unmute your microphone and see if it works this time? Okay, can hear you now.
Can you hear me, Ajahn?
Yeah, okay. Go ahead. You have any question today?
I have a question. Is scanning include vipassana?
Repeat again. Can you speak louder?
Is scanning include vipassana? Because I do more scanning than anapanasati. Because anapanasati can make me forget, maybe sleepy. While scanning make me more alert and aware and feel the presence of the body like a Coca-Cola in the bottle, full of energy.
Chanting? Are you say chanting or what?
Scanning.
Scanning. Oh,
yeah.
Scanning. No, scanning is not the method to use. You want to fix your attention on one thing, not scan your mind. You don't want to scan. You want to watch something and fix on that object. Don't scan.
Because
if you're watching your body, just watch what you are doing. If you're eating, just watch your eating, your action. Don't scan. Scanning is not meditating.
So I should not scanning in my meditation.
Right, you should concentrate, focus on one thing.
In anapanasati.
Yeah, if you use anapanasati, you want to watch your breath at one point. Don't follow your breath in and or out. Just watch at the tip of your nose when your breath come in and go out.
But if I am in anapanasati, I can be sleepy.
Then you walk and watch your feet, left, right.
Yes, I every day do it for 1 hour before I meditate. After I walk for 1 hour, I chanting and I meditate. First, I do anapanasati. When I feel sleepy, so I do scanning. Do scanning is like make me aware, make me no sleepy, make me full of energy, and there is a knowledge arise here.
What do you scan? What do you scan? When you say scanning, what do you scan?
From eyes, and nose, a mouth, throat, ears, a face, head, and down to my backbone. And
does it calm your mind or not?
Yes,
what you want to do, you
mind.
want to calm your mind, make your mind still or not? Can your mind become still?
Can.
Well, if your mind becomes still, then you don't need to scan. See? If you're still scanning, then your mind is not still yet. You have to stop scanning for the mind to become still.
Usually I scanning for twice and it make me more still, I think, and the body is present.
Well, if you're happy doing what you're doing, then go ahead and do it. But I don't think it's the right method, though.
Not the right method. So I just have
Watch
to
the
go
breath.
back to watch the breath.
Yeah.
Okay,
you have to focus on one object. Don't scan. When you're scanning, it means your mind is working. You want to stop the mind from working, so you have to stop scanning and just keep watching.
But sometimes can appear a thought. When I anapanasati, sometimes comes pops of thoughts.
Well, when the mind is not calm yet, it comes up. You just have to ignore and just keep watching your breath.
And should I go back to doing the Asubha practice, Ajahn? Because
Well, it depends on what you want. See, you're doing so many things at one time, which is counterproductive. When you meditate, you want to stick to one thing and try to do it good, not just changing here and there, doing this, trying that. And you're not doing good at anything that way. If you want to do Asubha, just do Asubha all day long. Try to do Asubha all day long and do not anything else. Don't keep changing. Yeah. Try to do something so that you can become master of what you do. And Asubha is the goal is different from watching the breath, from sitting and meditation. Asubha wants to give you knowledge, the knowledge of the body, that the body is not good looking.
Yeah, because a year ago I always did it with scanning for the first, then slowly became Asubha. But since I anapanasati, I became unable to do Asubha again. Is there any way I can do it again, Ajahn?
Just do it. Just do it. You don't. It might take a while for you to be able to get it right, but just keep doing it. Don't expect to do it now and then get the result right away. It might take you a few more weeks before you can get the result. You just have to keep doing it. Stick with it. Not keep changing back and forth, so you don't get anything out of anything. Try this, you don't get it. You try that, you don't get it. So you change, you keep changing. So you don't get anything out of what you do because you don't stick to it long enough. If you want Asubha, stick with it for 1 month, see what happens. If you want to use Anapanasati, stick with it for 1 month. Don't keep changing. Try until if you stick with it, you'll get what you do. If you don't stick with it, if you don't do enough of it, you don't get any results.
Yeah. When I do Asubha last year, it made me change, more accepting. Even though the condition are not pleasant, it made me more understanding. Okay, this is all meaningless because our body are also just a pile of flesh and bones, which will eventually rotten. So of these days, meaningless. It makes me, it have changed me a lot, Ajahn. Lot of be better. So I want to contemplate the Asubha, but since I Anapanasati, it's hard to me to do. I don't know. I feel I cannot go back to Asubha again, Ajahn. What should I do now? If I Anapanasati, I feel so sleepy, just sleepy and sleepy. So I do scanning. Okay, scanning is more better, I think. Yeah. But no, Ajahn said scanning is not the right method. I must go to Anapanasati. I will go sleepy again, Ajahn.
Well, it depends on what you want. If you scan and you make you alert, that's what you get. But you don't get any jhana, any samadhi from scanning.
Oh, so jhana is only when we do
Anapanasati or
Anapanasati.
Bhutto, or reciting Bhutto.
Okay, I will try it, Ajahn. Because actually I don't know what is jhana, what is samadhi, I don't know. I just know scanning make me more have energy.
Jhana samadhi means calm, peacefulness. The mind becomes peaceful, calm, and happy. Become still. That's samadhi. That's jhana.
But in the morning, I do Anapanasati. I feel like comes like lights. I don't know what the lights.
Yeah,
Is there a calm morningness?
These are all distractions. You have to ignore them and just keep focused on anapanasati, on your breath only. Don't be distracted by what appears.
Maybe tomorrow. So what can I do is try to do Anapanasati, do it again and do it again, Ajahn.
Yes, and when you're not doing anapanasati, you should do kaya kata sati. You should watch your body when you're moving around, doing things. Focus on what you do. Now, when you're eating, focus on your eating only. Don't think about other things. When you're washing, just focus on your washing and don't think about other things.
Yeah. Now I am mindfulness in walking with my right foot good and left foot toe or watching what I do. But my hearing becomes a little dimmer and my head becomes silent but feels peaceful. Is it correct, Ajahn?
It's not correct or incorrect. It is. You just ignore it. Just keep focusing on what you do, and anything else, just don't pay attention to them. Okay.
If I feel my body, then this body is present, and there is a little gentle pressure around the throat and chest, which is soft and comfortable, and the back of my head feel like a little numb. If I pay attention to the breath when I am not meditating, then my forehead feels like something inside my head, like
your mind is distracted. So your mind is not strong enough to focus, so it starts to create all these things to distract you from your concentration. That's all.
So what should I do, Ajahn? When meditate?
I don't know. I don't know what to do for you. I can only tell you what to do, but you just have to do it. You just have to try to be persistent and try to do one thing at a time.
Anapanasati only, Ajahn.
Okay. Okay, let me go to the next person, all right? Because we're running out of time. And maybe later, when we finish with the first round, if you want to ask more questions, you can do that. Okay? Okay, I'll go back to Yin now. Yin. Where are you from, Yin? Unmute your microphone. Okay.
Good evening, Tan Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my first time here, Tan Ajahn.
Oh,
Very
first.
nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
I'm from KL, Malaysia.
Okay. You have any question?
Yes, I do, Tan Ajahn. I've been listening to your Dhamma talk, but this time I feel like I want to come live to ask you a question. I've been struggling with a lot of agitation. I just recovered from illness. So the agitation makes it very difficult for me to meditate. So then I will also give excuse why I shouldn't meditate. And then during daytime when I'm doing my, I'm doing my daily things, I also get very agitated, like restlessness. So there's a lot of worries, Tanachan. So I like your advice on how to get myself, especially during my sitting meditation, because I realized like this morning when I did the Buddha, then after half an hour, I felt really good. And today whole day, I felt really good. So I don't know whether I'm doing it the right way.
Yes, if you feel good using the mantra Buddha, then it's the right thing to do. But you just have to do more, not just when you meditate. You should do even not when you're not meditating also.
So when I'm not meditating during my daily activities,
yes.
So I need to have the mantra coming on.
Yes, to keep the mind calm and not agitated. Yeah. Because when you start reciting the mantra, the mind can become agitated and again.
Yeah, because I try to just focus on my breath, like breathing in, breathing out. I realize that it doesn't work anymore. I get really still very agitated during the sitting meditation.
Yeah, because your mindfulness is not strong enough.
Yeah.
So you have to generate by reciting the mantra Buddha.
Okay.
Okay, until when your mindfulness becomes strong, then when you sit, then you can focus on your breathing, on your breath.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn. Okay. Yeah, very helpful.
Uma, you're next. Uma.
Hello, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yes. Any question today?
Yes, sir.
Don't make any commentary, huh? Just question.
Of course, Ajahn, I have two questions. Today I want to talk to you about Asubha. With Asubha, can we reach Jhana Samadhi?
I don't know. You have to try it. Usually not. With Asubha, it's easier with the breath, anapanasati. Asubha is more for wisdom, to see the truth of the body. That is not pleasant and that is not good looking. That's more the purpose of Asubha than for jhana.
But if we use Samadhi for just one object, just one kamatana, like breath or Buddha,
that's right.
So can we use that with just one part of the 32 parts?
Yes, like the skeleton, for instance, you can imagine the skeleton in your mind and maintain that image in your mind. This can also give you jhana, I think.
Right, and without thinking, without thoughts.
That's right.
Okay, so that was skeleton. But if we choose another object like the hair or or the skin, do we have to imagine the hair at any specific part of the body, or it can be just a hair alone?
It's up to you, as long as your mind can stop thinking and keep focused on that object. It can be in any way you want, I guess. I've never tried, so I cannot give you a definitive answer.
And when we're starting out with Asubha, we're doing 32 parts, recitation forwards and backwards.
That's right. Yes? So to get familiar with the 32 parts, first get the names. Then once you remember the names, then you start to visualize each part mentally.
Right. And then you stop at some point because, like you said, we need samadhi. So we have to stop moving and changing and pick one object.
That's right. Then you can pick one object that you like, that is to your interest, and then focus on that one object alone.
So with investigation, like you said, for developing panya, we have to think, right? Because without thinking, we cannot develop panya.
That's right.
So when we are doing asubha for samadhi, we don't have to think. But when we're doing asubha for panya, then we have to think. This is
That's
how
right.
it's done.
Yeah, to tell your mind that it's not pleasant, it's not good looking, it's smelly, for instance. Yeah, all the internal organs.
Yeah. When it is not possible to be mindful of any of the four satipatthanas, is it better to be, aware of the knower, that is the one who knows?
Well, you have to always be aware of something, because you always involved with something all the time. See? So be aware of what you're involved with. If you're dealing with money, be aware of money. If you're dealing with people, be aware with people. And then use anicca and dukkha anatta on those things to teach your mind to leave them alone.
But this will be counted as sati, mindfulness, because you're aware of something.
Aware and also know the nature of being anicca dukkha anatta. This means wisdom also, wisdom and mindfulness together.
Okay, and is it easier to develop first jhana with asubha other than Buddha and Anapana?
I don't know, you have to try it.
Right. Well, those are all the questions I have about.
Okay, thank you. Let me go to B, Ravin from Bangkok.
Good evening, Thanajan.
Yes.
I have a question regarding my meditation practice. So lately I've been able to meditate, and I've been able to see some progression in my meditation. Sometimes when my mind is really still, I feel that it detaches from the body, and I feel that I am able to have peace and happiness through meditation. However, I seem to struggle a little bit when I come out of a meditation. I try to contemplate the body, as Thanajan once told me. Sometimes I have painful feeling in my legs. I try to look at it and tell myself that it's anicca, it's impermanent. Or I look at the body and I tell myself it's impermanent, one day the body will die. And I try to tell myself that it's better to get to be in peace from samadhi. Is that the right way to try to convince the mind that, happiness from samadhi is much better than happiness from body?
That's the principle knowledge you want to give to the mind. But also you have to teach the mind how to deal with the body. When it's painful, then you have to tell that this is the nature of the body, that it can produce pain, it can produce no pain, and it's beyond your control. So you have to teach your mind to accept whatever feeling arises from the body, not to reject, not to have any dislike or like from the feeling that's generated by the body. Just merely knowing that this is the way how the body works. Sometimes it gives you painful feeling, sometimes it gives you good feeling, sometimes it gives you neutral feeling. Your mind not supposed to react to any of this feeling, just to merely know and accept them for what it is. This is vipassana or wisdom. So that your mind doesn't become disturbed by the changing nature of the body feeling. Right now, when you get sick, your mind tends to be disturbed by that, right? By the sickness of the body. So you want to train your mind not to be disturbed by the sickness of the body. by accepting the truth of this, then when the mind accepts, then there will be no dukkha.
So we have to teach the mind to see it as just the five khandhas, right? That it's just arising,
And
passing,
see, yeah,
constantly changing.
right, changing, like the weather, raining, sunshine, snowing, and we just have to accept them for what they are. If we don't want to have any dukkha. Okay.
So to just observe and
That's
notice
right.
it.
Yeah. And anytime you want to seek pleasure through your body, then you tell your mind that there's a better way of having happiness by meditation. So it depends on what you do, what you want to do, and you have to find the right answer to counter those actions that are driven by your delusion.
So it's not wrong to have the desire to get peace from meditation. It's not bad kilesa, right? It's a good kilesa.
It's good desire.
Because I try to tell myself, oh, let's meditate. It's a good thing to have to nourish the mind.
Yeah.
This is good to have, right? It's good to think about this constantly.
It's
I
good
want
to
to
have
meditate.
that, but also make sure that it doesn't cause you any stress when you don't get what you want, when you cannot do what you want to do. Then you have to also tell yourself, well, this is not the time for me to do it. So sometimes even your good desire can cause you stress when you cannot get what you want also. So when you cannot do it, then you have to stop those desires for temporarily and wait for the time that you can do it. Then you can then restart your desire to do that, to meditate again.
Okay, I understand. Yep. Yes.
See, all the conditions keep changing, so you have to be up to date with the existing condition situation. And it can be quite tricky sometimes.
I find it's actually quite amazing sometimes when I have mindfulness and I just take a step back and just sit and think about what's been happening. I find that, wow, so many things has happened and I've only been able to notice it because of my mindfulness. But when I don't have mindfulness, sometimes hours can go by and I realize, oh, what have I been doing? You know, so it's something I've noticed more and more after meditation. Time seems to go slower. I seem to see things happening more.
Yes, with mindfulness, you are more aware of things, of what's going on. Okay.
Yes, so it's something I'll need to work on more.
All right.
Thank you.
Keep developing mindfulness and wisdom. These are the two things you need to develop.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you.
ST, you're next. ST from Singapore.
Evening, Ajahn. Yeah, just a question regarding reciting meditation and reciting Buddha, right? Because I think it seems like the reciting Buddha is one of the proven ways to calm the mind. Then why don't we recommend everybody to just meditate and do that instead of them trying other things? Because I thought that will be the simplest to understand and then the easiest to follow. And everybody won't be confused by other methods like observing the body or reading other texts, because I find that it's actually confusing everybody. So can we just say, you just recite Buddha, meditate as long as you can, and then we achieve what we want to achieve?
Well, the truth is you can't, see, because people have different attitude toward different method of meditation. So it depends on how they get exposed in the first place, and sometimes it's beyond this lifetime also. They might have been exposed previously in the past lifetime, so they have their own preferences to the type of meditation they want to do. That's why we have 40 different kammatthana, objects of meditation to choose from. So you just have to find the right one for you, and don't try to impose it on other people. Like you like red shirt, and no other people might not like red shirt. They like blue or green shirt. Yeah. What's right or what works for you might not work for other people. That's the point I'm trying to say. But you can only teach them what works. I think your microphone is off again. I cannot hear you. Did you turn off your microphone? No, you cannot hear my sound, my voice? I guess not.
Yeah, I'm okay now. Sorry, just now I was sort of silent.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I couldn't speak. Yeah, I think So what you say is that it depends on the person's preference. Yeah, but because what I thought is that actually it causes more confusion and argument among believers, that everybody is insisting on their right of way. In a way,
that's why you have so many different type of automobiles, for instance.
Right.
Yeah. Because if everybody likes the same thing, then there's only one type of automobile, right?
I just find that it sort of comes to mind that if you just say one thing and then everybody follows, and then the confusion, because everybody is searching, and the more you search, the more confused you get. And I'm trying to get that point whereby you just simplify it to just one.
Yeah, but that doesn't work that way, because people are not, they prefer different methods, let's put it that way. That's why you have preferences in everything, all the application. Your phone, when you get your phone, you set up your preference, right? What kind of screensaver you want, what kind of colors, so forth. Because we have different preferences.
So let's say somebody say that he count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and can achieve
That's
calm,
right.
Then we are saying he has the right way also, right? In a way.
That's right. That's why we have 40 different methods of meditation object. And that's listed, but there are many more that are not listed under this list. So any method that can calm your mind, let's put it that way.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Soling from London.
Hello, Ajahn. We are listening. Thank you. No question.
Okay. Sajalka, have you asked your question yet? I've seen you earlier on before, but somehow you went out and come back in. Okay.
Yeah, I think, Ajahn, I have a question, which is something that kind of technique that you discussed previously, and I think in answer to Alvin Lee's question that was raised again. So could you please tell me about this? You're talking about forcing yourself to stay in one place, and even though you try to wiggle out, but how is it that kind of fostering or giving strength to the practice? Means, am I kind of challenging my defilements, or if I force myself to stay in one place for 3-4 hours and keep water handy and things like that? And so, can you just say a little bit more about that approach, please?
Well, you are put under different situations. Normally, you don't force yourself to be sitting in one place, for instance. You normally your mind wants to go here and there, even though there's no reason for doing it, but you just cannot be still. See? So you want to force your mind to be still by forcing your body to sit down in one place. This will then force you to, if you want to achieve this goal, then you have to develop a lot of mindfulness to stop your desire, your cravings, your thoughts for wanting to move around, for wanting to do this and that. So in this regard, you're forced to develop more mindfulness to overcome your cravings and your desire to move around. I think somehow your picture is gone from the screen. Okay, you're back. Can you hear me? You want to unmute your microphone? No. Okay, you don't want to say anything.
because no, I didn't, because I think because of the COVID, the internet is being used by my daughter for schoolwork also. So I think sometimes it kind of gets kind of slow or things like that. I think maybe that's what you saw me in and out. Yeah.
I see. Okay. So did you get my answer to your question?
Yes, I did. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Ajahn.
Normally, when we're in a comfort zone, we don't need to develop any mindfulness because there's no problem. See, but when we are in a discomfort zone, then we need to develop more mindfulness to make the mind to cope with the discomfort. Because
and also that you, as you mentioned again and again, that right after the moment I get up, you be mindful about whether the body or with the Buddha, but throughout the day, except for doing actual work where thinking is needed, you stay that way, rather than and whether it's walking meditation or otherwise, but the whenever it's calm enough, then I should try to sit. That's
right.
the impression I get.
Yes, because when you have strong mindfulness, then you can sit and meditate, and to get the mind to become much more calmer than walking, than moving around. But when you move around,
I follow that.
When you move around, you want to also develop mindfulness at the same time with whatever you have to do. So that when you meditate, you then will
Thank you,
have a
Ajahn.
stronger
That was my
mindfulness.
question. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Next is Say Teng. Say Teng. Please unmute your microphone. Where are you from?
Hi, Ajahn. I'm from Malaysia.
Yes. Any question?
Yes, Ajahn. I would like to ask is when I meditate, right? How can my meditation last longer? Like certain times I will like open up. I just open up my eyes and I can't continue anymore.
Just recite mantra when you want to get up. Don't get up, and then restart your meditation by reciting a mantra or chanting. Do some chanting. Keep chanting until your mind can focus on your breathing again. Then you can continue on with your meditation.
Okay, Ajahn. When I try initially, I will try to use Buddha. When I feel like it's getting sleepy, then can I change to like another mantra like Namo Tassa?
Yes,
or
yes. You
I
can
recite
chant. You can chant.
the Noble Eightfold Path.
Yes, anything. Yes.
But can I keep changing like that, or I should stick to one?
Because you have reason for changing. So because if you keep reciting Buddha and you feel asleep, then you might need something different.
So it's
to
okay
counter.
that
It's okay.
Okay.
You have to have a reason though, not simply because you want to change it yourself.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Is that all? Okay, let me go
Yes.
to Yannasangwararam. Yannasangwararam, you're next from Lebanon.
Hello, Ajahn.
Any question today?
Yes, I would like to get some clarification on one point in my practice. I have spoken about this to you before, actually, that it keeps on happening. That when I kind of force myself to practice, I never get to a point where I get the mindfulness. It feels like my practice is very forceful and like unnatural. Excuse me. But recently, my mindfulness has been improving significantly, and I noticed that when I go by a certain intuitive way of practice, I don't force. I remember you advised me once to kind of push myself sort of against my will, as if. But I noticed that was not working for me. It was just creating more tension in my body and in my mind. So I noticed when I kind of relax, not get into a lazy stupor, but more like intuitively practice, like, okay, now I feel like practicing, so I practice. Now maybe I shouldn't, because it just feels like it's gonna be this kind of like a forceful kind of session. So I noticed that method was working for me. What would you say about that?
Well, if you use intuitively, practice intuitively, you are not moving forward, see, because you will only do so much that you used to be able to do. But if you want to do more, then you have to force yourself to do more, such as reciting the mantra or do some more chanting, rather than stop after you intuitively feel that that's enough for you. Then you'll just get stuck in that same spot every time you practice. When you come to the point where you want to stop, you'll stop. If you want to move forward, then you have to force yourself to do more mindfulness. Reciting a mantra, chanting or walking meditation, for instance, or reciting the 32 parts of the body. Then you can then extend your practice further, longer. So we have to force, even though it seems unnatural. That's because our natural way is wrong way. See, it's the way of the defilement. So we need to force the Dhamma way into our mind, to change the habit, to change the old way, to replace the old way. So we have to force our practice.
We need to constantly look for kind of excuses to practice, and any kind of
Yes, I always say, think of death. Death can come anytime, or sickness can come anytime. And when they come, there can be an obstruction to your practice. When you're not dead, when you're not sick, this is the good time, the best time to do it now. Because you don't know what's going to be like tomorrow or the next hour. So when you can do it now. Finish the work that you have to do. Once you finish, then you don't have to worry about the body anymore, whether it's gonna get sick or die or not.
Our mind keeps delaying the work. It says like, okay, after I finish my renovation project, after I do this, after I do that, and then our focus.
You keep kicking the ball down the road.
Yeah.
You won't be doing the practice. There'll always be something else for you to do.
I mean, I do the practice, but of course not as much as I would like to.
You only do when it's comfortable for you to do it. When it's not comfortable, then you stop. Then you don't want to do it.
Yeah, like sometimes it just feels like no matter, I will be just sitting, let's say, watching YouTube or something, and then suddenly my mind automatically goes to my breath. And it's like no matter what, nothing can take my attention. I will just continue the whole session of sitting. But then sometimes when I do like intentionally want to sit and practice, nothing I can do will help me to focus my mind, no matter I'm chanting mantra or counting the breath or chanting some parita or whatever. So it feels like whenever the mind is naturally inclined to meditate, that seems to be the perfect time to meditate.
Yeah, but it's not all the time. That's a problem. Wish it would be all the time, the mind inclined to meditate. That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 hour in 24 hours it's inclined to do meditation. Then the other 23 hours it doesn't want to meditate.
That's true.
So you want to have to force it to to do more, and eventually it will then be inclined to do more automatically afterwards. So when you're forcing, there's stress. So you have to be willing to pay the price. You know, that this is good stress. That once good sweat. Once you have retrained your mind, then you'll find that you can do it easier next time when you meditate. Okay, so you just have to keep forcing it to cover more territory, to cover more time of practice. It doesn't come naturally because it will never come naturally because the nature of your mind right now is not toward Dhamma, it's always toward the defilement.
So there will come a point in our practice in the future where the nature of the mind will be more towards the Dhamma.
When you force it, when you train it to.
After we force it.
Yeah, after you do it, then eventually it will then becomes a habit, a new habit to you. Okay. Let me go to the next person then. Who is next?
Sunikuman.
Sunikuma Shinde.
Yeah.
Hi, where are you from?
Hello.
You have to speak louder. Yes, okay. Go ahead.
Sir, I am from Banteji. I am from India.
From India. Which part of India?
I am in India from Maharashtra, from Solapur district, Kurdwadi.
Okay. What can I do for you today?
No, Banteji, I am listening only what you say.
Okay, then. Okay. Then we go to the next person then. Okay. William, you're next. William. From England. If I remember correctly.
Yes, I'm from England, Bhante.
Yes. What was today?
I guess it's how to maintain one's confidence in the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, Bhante.
Just keep thinking of the Buddha, thinking of his teaching, and thinking of the noble disciple. This will maintain your confidence in them. Anytime you forget about them, then your confidence can disappear.
Yes, Bhante.
And also the practice will also increase more confidence. The more you add, the more you benefit from the result, then the more confidence you will have in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha.
Yes, Bhante.
So please practice mindfulness. Maintain mindfulness, reciting mantra, Bhutto, 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 and sit and meditate. And when your mind becomes peaceful and calm, you'll feel confident in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. They are real. They're not something imagined or created, but they're not fiction.
No.
Everything about them is true, whether about their life or whether about their teaching. It's all true. It's all beneficial for us to follow them.
Yes, Bhante.
Any question today?
Well, it's my usual question with about karma. Still struggling with karma, Bhante.
Yeah, you just have to accept karma. It's like when you throw a stone. You cannot bring the stone that you threw from your hand back. It's gonna fall somewhere. So with your karma, your past karma, you already cast your stone. So be ready for the consequence of your action, whatever it's gonna be. And then it will pass away. Once you pay the consequence, then it will be all over with. Okay.
Thank you very much, Bhante.
All right. We go to Joko. Joko, where are you from, Joko?
Thank you, Ajahn. I am from Indonesia. So I have a question. Last time I learned about Kayagata Sati, the contemplation of the body. So the Bante in my place tell me to recite the 33 part of the body as the way of practicing Kayagata Sati. Do you have any practical way or other way to practice this contemplation, Ajahn? Thank you.
The 32 parts of the body. Well, when you begin, you recite the name of the 32 parts. The hair, the head, and so forth. Either in Pali or in English or in your own language, whichever one is you like, you can do it.
Should I also think of the part when I contemplate on it or just recite it, Ajahn?
Maybe first you want to recite the name first, so that you remember all the 32 names. Once you remember the 32 names, then you can go visualize one at a time. The hair of the head, the hair of the body, nail, teeth, skin, and go and visualize them all in your mind. And then eventually, when you can remember all the 32 parts, when you look at the body, try to think of all the 32 parts at the same time. Like when you see my body or when you see your own body in the mirror, try to think of the other parts that you cannot see with your eyes. That is there, it's part of you, part of your body, but we tend to forget.
Yes.
We tend to ignore. So we become obsessed or become delusional with the body, thinking it is good looking. And in fact, it's not good looking when you see under the skin, right?
Yes, Ajahn.
So that's what you want to do. You want to be able to see the parts of the body under the skin. So that will then dispel the delusion that the body is good looking.
Yes, Ajahn. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ajahn.
I guess now everybody has a chance to ask the question. So let me go to question from Facebook if there's any.
There are 3 questions from Facebook. And the first question from Poliang Soon. Very frustrated. I'm losing after the COVID infection to me. Then I'm getting stressed in my mind and make me cannot practice. Can Ajahn give me advice?
Well, you can tell yourself that the body is sick, but the mind is not sick with the body. So the mind should actually be able to do anything that the body cannot do. So the mind can still recite the mantra, the mind can still chant, the mind can still watch the breath. So as far as practice is concerned, the condition of the body doesn't prevent the mind from meditating or practicing Dhamma.
Next question from Lisa Wu. Good evening, Ajahn. If I do not have any sexual desire, do I need to do 32 body parts meditation? If yes, what should I be looking out for? Thank you in advance.
It depends on what you have in mind. See, if you still want to protect your sexual desire, then you don't need to contemplate on the 32 parts. But if you want to eliminate your sexual desire, then you have to use the 32 parts of the body to do it. Even though now you might not have any sexual desire, that's because maybe the condition doesn't allow it to appear. But one day you might run into somebody and then your sexual desire might appear. And if you want to get rid of it, then you need to have the 32 parts to get rid of your sexual desire. Okay.
Yes, and last question from Augustine Folio. Good evening, Ajahn. I have a question today. I'm a lay follower of Buddha, practice 5 precepts and meditation regularly. I have a family, wife and 2 kids. I love my family, but most of the time I feel that supporting a family is a waste of time because soon we will all die and part as if we have never met. All the jobs that I have to do to support my family and the social gatherings do not interest me much, but I feel that they do not allow me to practice Dhamma. But at the same time, I think it would be a bad deed to leave my family. What can I do with this inner feeling? Thanks.
Well, you just have to decide which path you want to go. If you want to go the path of meditation, then you have to leave your family. But if you feel that you still have to, if you feel bad and you have to live with your family, then you just have to decide which one you want to take. See? You cannot take both. You cannot take them with you to practice meditation. Meditation is a one-person practice. So this is something you will have to decide for yourself which path you want to take. Look at the Buddha, for example. The Buddha also had a family like you. He had a wife, he had a baby, son who just gave birth, his wife who just gave birth. But he decided he wants to go and meditate. So he ran away. Maybe this is what you have to do. If you want to meditate hard enough, then you might just one day just disappear from your family and never let them know where you are. But it's up to you whether you can overcome that guilty conscience or not once you left them. Okay? What else can I say? Okay, we have second round now. Anybody who likes to ask any question, please raise your hand and unmute the microphone. Anybody?
Evie from Indonesia.
Evie, you want to ask again? Okay.
Yeah, Ajahn.
Go ahead. You can speak now. Evie.
Ajahn, about mindfulness in meditation means that all attention is only the tip of the nose, but my whole body is involved here. Should I pay attention to this body too? Because it's always like after Anapanasati for a while, the whole body feels like getting involved here, the body is here.
Don't pay attention to other things, just the breath, the tip of your nose. When you want to focus and concentrate your mind, you have to just focus on one thing, one point. Okay.
Yeah.
Next, anybody? I guess everybody has that.
William.
William. Okay, William.
And the Buddha talked about the light and the dark, which he used the Pali terms sukha and kanha dhamma. And I wonder how you would protect oneself against the kanha dhamma and how to develop sukha dhamma.
Sukha and kanha.
How can one protect oneself against kanha?
Kanha. How do you spell it?
Kanha. Use the word dark, the dark dhamma, and light dhamma. The Buddha used those terms, kanha.
I think it probably means the dhamma and the dhamma for the light, the sukha dhamma, and the defilement as the dark dhamma. So
can one be attacked by dark forces, Bhante?
Can one be attacked by yes, we are constantly attacked by our defilements all the time. Our delusion, we are constantly being attacked by our delusion, our greed, our hate. See, so we need the practice of dana, sila, and bhavana to counter these three enemies. So when you when you have more money than you can use, then you should share it. This is dana. So stop your greed for more money, because when you keep sharing the money, then you find that why should I greed for more money? Because when I have more money, I'll give it to other people anyway.
Yes.
And also when you become hateful, then you have to use metta to or sila to. When you hate somebody and you want to hurt them, then you say, "Oh, I'm keeping the precept. I cannot hurt other people." So you use the precept to counter your hate. And your delusion, you need to bhavana, the practice of meditation, vipassana, and samatha bhavana, to counter or eliminate your delusion from your mind. So that's why we have to keep doing these three practices of dana, sila, and bhavana. Okay? All right. Anybody else? Looks like everybody is happy, content. Okay, then I think it's about time for us to leave each other, to go back to our whatever we want to do. I hope to meditate, but if not, that's too bad. That's your business, not mine. Okay, thank you very much for your participation. I hope that you have learned something today and help you advance in your practice. So in the meantime, please be safe and be mindful. I'll see you again next week. Goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Thank you.
ท่านอาจารย์
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Lord.
Ajahn.
Thank you, admin.
Thank you,
Thank you, admin.
Bye bye,
Everybody.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you.